Hello, everybody. Welcome to Banter Flicks. You are joined by myself, Gabrielle, aka Wish Mama. Today, for the episode of Movie Screen to Cosplay Scene, as I always say, it's a name of the work in progress. I have given James an alternative, but he has not looked at it kindly because I said cosplay uniting movies. But then when you put the three letters together, it makes it quite a bad word. So I'm too much of an influence from Head Scout. So still to be thought about. But anyway, back to who I'm joined by today, you fabulous listeners and watchers. Today I'm joined by two fabulous ladies of Tanda Cosplay. They are currently dressed as a remake of a film that was done that caused a bit of a stir, but we'll get to that later. But for now, let me introduce the very fabulous Amy, aka Strange Porcelain. Say hi.
Hello.
And also Gwyneth, aka Jen Tate Cosplay. Say hi.
Hey. Hello.
That is everybody introduced. Ladies, how are you both doing?
Really well, thank you. Half term for me, so I'm just chilling, sleeping in, not doing much really. Spent the day getting ready.
living your best life. What about you, Gwyneth?
I'm not doing much either. I'm going back to work next week, so I've been in a few times just doing that. Apart from that, Animal Crossing, that's my life right now.
Nice. Well, ladies, we're going to get into it first of all, but I'm going to have to ask the crucial question. What the hell got you started into this fabulous world of cosplay? Why did you start it? Amy, go first.
Well, I know that we've obviously had a little chat about this kind of thing before, but for me, cosplay, I didn't realize what it was until much later on when cosplay became a kind of bigger term to be used of what we do. So for me, it was I had a mutual friend who loved Final Fantasy, and we found out about a local event called Nemicon back in 2010. And at the time, we didn't know what a con was or what a cosplay thing was, but it suggested that you dress up as a character you like. So we went as Final Fantasy characters and turned up at this city hall where like-minded people were also dressed up, and it was very empty, like compared to the events we go to now where everything has stalls and whatnot. It was literally an empty town hall where just groups of people just gathered for a chat, and it kind of went from there. Like I say, I just thought I'd turned up for a day with like-minded people dressed up as a character, not really realizing what it was, and now I can't get out of it. So
bit by the bug. You were bit by the bug.
Oh, that's what it is. And so the bank balance, that's gone.
You've come a long way from the city hall then. So you've come such a long way.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Anyone who's not watching, you will see her on the video, but her Holtzman cosplay from the Ghostbusters film. She looks amazing. It's like Holtzman is sitting here. Is really like Kate McKenna that's her name. Kate McKenna is sitting right across the screen from me. Fabulous. Now, Gwen, that was just easy, wasn't it, Amy? You just rolled out of bed and that was you.
Maybe you could do it with American accent instead.
Okay, and Gwyneth, what about you? How did you get into this whole crazy world?
So it's the same as Amy. Like, I didn't know it was a thing. I love dressing up, but I didn't know like it could be more than like that. And I worked in a video game shop, and Tomb Raider Anniversary is coming out, and we were told to like dress the shop up, dress yourself up. I think I'm the only person in the company who did dress myself up as Lara Croft, but I loved it. And like when I put on the outfit, I still remember looking in the mirror going, oh my god, like I felt amazing. The costume wasn't great, it was just put together quite like in a week, but it was a great feeling, and I just got hooked from there.
See, that's the thing. The costumes don't need to be perfect, immaculate. It just takes you out of normality, doesn't it? It's amazing. Like, and you done it for work. You done it literally for work. And now you're joined up. You're now part of the dynamic duo that is TNA Cosplay.
Exactly. I've met amazing people.
You have done, and you're both amazing people. Can I just say, anyone listening or watching, these ladies are class. They're chameleons. Like, I can't get enough of their TikToks. Sorry, but Amy's especially. You baffle me by how you change your ass into those so many different people. I am like gooped half the time.
It's all right. You see my boyfriend when he comes out of the door, when he opens it up, and I was dressed as the nun. I was like, oh, look.
So how do you think I feel? I'm married. I'm married to the fucking nun. I'm married to the nun. I am married to it. Like, literally, my husband's up there half the time running around the street dressed as Valak, just for shits and giggles.
He's very good at it. Like, he's too good at it. He enjoys that way too much.
He loves. I'll give you a funny story. just to do with the vows, just because you brought the nun into this. My mom hates anything like that. We're both good Catholic ladies, like, and all. So a bit of, it's a bit of a offensive, to have a nun like that there. So that's fine. So she doesn't like it. So my husband one day snuck into the back of my mom's house. She has these lovely, beautiful patio doors, right? And he stood there, and he is wearing this black habit, right? This whole black outfit. And my mom is my height, like 5'1". My husband's 6 foot. So she hears something at the back, and we're all sitting recording this shit. She hears, and she opens the door. I'm not joking you. She looks dead at him. But because her eye height was where he was still in the black, she didn't see him. So when he moved, I'm talking, he was like 2 inches from her face. When he moved, she hit him such a dig. Like, pooh, it was brilliant. She didn't forgive us for quite a while. But my husband loved it. He was like, the punch was worth it.
Totally.
Evil. I think you actually have a picture with him for the love of horror.
Yeah, because it's before I really knew you or your husband.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a guy, if I'm honest, because, with all the makeup on. And I think I posted it, you were like, that's my husband. And I was like, no way.
Hello.
But he was like in character all day. Like, hiding behind things and jumping out and, peeping out. Amazing.
Yeah, he's just like evil shite. But you both do that. Everyone gets into their cosplay, and that's why it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's how you both got into it, and you're both hooked. And you then ended up creating the fabulous TNA cosplay, where, like, so today you're in a unified kind of cosplay where you're both representing a film that meant something to you both.
Yeah.
And do you just want to tell me and the listeners who you are, why you're dressed, and blah 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 blah? Amy, go first.
Just why we're dressed as we are, or about the whole
why you're dressed
in general.
Why you're dressed. We'll go with why you're dressed. Why those characters appeal to you. We'll get into the film a bit after it, because that could open a whole can of worms. So we'll get to the fun stuff first. We'll go to the fun stuff first.
I think for me as Holtzman, I just Bugsy'd it first. I think that's really what it is. I think out of all the characters, we all liked her character because there's something different. It's definitely a character I don't think we see very often in films. That someone who's smart but quirky, a bit bizarre, and whose sexuality is a bit on the fence. So again, she was just a character that I found quite funny. She's got somewhat good one-liners, and she kind of, for me, I'm probably going to say something very controversial, but I think she kind of filled the Venkman role in this movie in terms of the humor. So again, I found that I had similar kind of quirks. And when I went to see it with my mother, who came out and went, so when are you going to make your proton pack? So I was like, well, if she says I can do this, then why not? I think that's what it is. I think it's just very similar in the sense that we're both quite eccentric. And I think it is very much just a case of I want to be Holtzman. I'm Bugsy. It's me. I want to do it.
So were you like sitting in the cinema screen going to Gwyneth, I Bugsy her first. You're not there yet.
Like write it on my hand silently. Just psychic link. But
I think, admit it, Gwyneth, you wanted to cut a bitch after that, didn't you? You wanted to
Well, it's funny because we didn't really know each other when it came out very well.
Yeah.
So like, I'll get into that after I speak.
So what then drew you, bar the short straw of
Okay. So I was friends with Amy on Facebook. We met once briefly for like a second. But what
really?
That was it. And then when Ghostbusters came out, I was watching it and I was like, I've got to do Holtzman, I've got to do it. But by the time I got home, Amy's on Facebook going, ta-da! And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like,
bitch.
I know. She was so good at it as well. Like she said, it's kind of very much like her. And when I thought about it, I think Erin is probably more my kind of character anyway. We do have a similar look, and I am more like her. So I thought maybe that should just go with a different character. And I actually got asked to do a stage show at an event, and he's like, do you know any other Ghostbusters? And I was like, yes, kind of. So I got Amy, I messaged her, and I messaged another girl who does someone else in Ghostbusters, and we never knew each other really, and then that is how we became friends. And now we're best friends.
Unified.
And now we're best friends because of Ghostbusters.
Isn't it amazing how cosplay and conventions, you could meet someone once, become their Facebook friend, and then next thing you know, you have an actual friendship with someone.
Yeah.
And some people you don't even see bar once a year. Now with COVID, you've maybe seen them once every 2 years if we're not kidding, but yet there's still cosplay brings that sort of unification seems to be the word of this this podcast at the minute.
Unification.
Yes, Amy. Amy is raising her hand.
It's the only way I can get attention. This is what I'm used to. This time, put your hand up or I'm not listening. I just need to get a charger because my phone's gonna die. So I'll just
you go do it. I'll just cut. This will all still be in the recording. So James, please feel free to keep this in. This is now where Gwyneth gets to tell me exactly how she felt that the bitch took Holtzman.
Oh god,
how did you feel? How did you feel? Spill the tea. At
first I was a bit like, oh, but like I said, she did such a good job of it. I was like, you know what? I'm happy with that. And I love Erin. Like I've learned to love her. Like people watch it and be like, yeah, people think that we do look a bit like both of them anyway. So
you do look very like Kristen Wiig. Like, are you going to plan a cheetah cosplay?
Yes, I am. Me and Amy are going to do Wonder Woman and Cheetah.
And then
I'm not going to do the cheetah suit because it's very CGI and it's just not going to look right.
It's terrible. So, that's another thing that we will not get into the conversation about. Let's just say she got screwed when it came to that.
Yeah.
I was good about that.
You finally watched it? What did you think?
Yeah. And that could be a whole nother video, really.
Yeah. I delved into that video with Amy Mills one day, and I think the general consensus, that's the word, the consensus was it was good for a bit of fun, but overall we sort of came to the that like I didn't like how her suit was revealed and it wasn't given any real majestic kind of moment. She wasn't given that. George Clooney's bat nips got more attention than her. Cheetah was a sideline, and I thought like Kristen Wiig she done it amazingly, but she got screwed with how the film was done. Like I think she could have done so much more if given the chance. That was my summary of it.
Yeah. Gal Gadot, who spent about 25% of the movie in a Wonder Woman outfit. I was just like,
kind of good about that.
Where's Wonder? Where the hell is Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman?
Yeah, we'll not even get into the whole can of worms about how she basically done on their thing with that their fella that really didn't quite consent to his body being used, but we'll not get into that.
Oh yes,
that's a whole another can of worms. But yes, that was a brief how we felt about Wonder Woman, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen's, there's plurals. So right, that's why you both got into the characters. But now, what did you think of the 2016 film Let's Get Serious? So Amy, you don't need to raise your hands for this. She's for those not listening, for those not watching yet, she's cracking her knuckles and breathing out. She is ready to she's ready to throw down here.
Yeah, I really like the movie, but I think the one thing that they should have changed, that would have probably changed everyone's perspectives, was using the word reboot. It is a reboot. And from then on, everyone just had this hatred of it. Like, they have to remember that really, I mean, I can't remember when did Ghostbusters 2 come out, Gwyneth?
1989.
It was still in the 80s. So the last time we saw a Ghostbuster movie was in the 80s. And then the next time we saw one was 2016 with this new imagining of the Ghostbusters. And for me, I think people forget that actually it revitalized the whole franchise, in my opinion. Like, I know everyone had heard of Ghostbusters and whatnot, but younger children were talking about it, but they were talking about this one. So like when I was teaching at the time, I was in reception and I had my 4-year-olds coming to me going, "Oh, Miss Telford, are you a Ghostbuster?" And they knew what I meant. And it just, I think from the get-go, it just got hated. That was unnecessary. I think if they had gone into it with it's an alternative version of events, which they've done through comics, which they've said it's an alternative universe, but they didn't do that with the movie. And I think, like I say, everyone went in with it with a negative viewpoint before they'd even started. And I thought it was a fun film. I came out really enjoying it. Like I say, I went with my mother and she really enjoyed it. It was a fun movie to watch. And I feel like we can watch it over and over and over again because it's just simple. You don't have to think too much. It doesn't take itself too seriously. And in essence, it's got a good set of characters. They're funny characters. And they just happen to be Ghostbusters. Like if they call it, the ghost capturers, would that have made any difference? You know what I mean? But
I'd be looking for your man Zach from Paranormal Investigators or something to be popping out, but that was called that.
Called it the conductors of the metaphysical examination, and then everyone would have been fine with it. So I really enjoyed it personally. I thought it was just a good, fun film. I wouldn't have said it deserves an Oscar, but by all means, it was a fun film to watch.
Yeah, it was a really good film to watch. Like, what about you, Gwyneth? What did you think of it?
Yeah, same. I really enjoyed it. I think I went into it with the right way. Like, it wasn't Ghostbusters 3. It was a whole new story. And people just kind of thought about 1 and 2 all the time and compared it to that. And it's like, it's not carried on from that. It's a different universe. And I mean, I don't think it's as good as the original ones because that's like, my era, my babies. But I still loved it. And we watch it, like I say, all the time still.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you both. It's a good, fun movie. Like, we do know there's no giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. There's no actual things like that there that we know anyway. And it's something to take your head out of reality. So it shouldn't be taken as more than what it was. But I know for me, when I watched it, not when I watched, before I watched it, I probably was one of those people that went into it with a bit of a trepidation. And not because I was worried what they would do with the storyline. That I wasn't fussed about. I wasn't fussed about how they would, acknowledge the original character. I hoped and prayed for cameos and was so elated when there were. But the part that it felt like it was forcing a women activist kind of thing. That was the only thing. And I'm all for women having the same roles, that's all fine. But to me it just felt forced, if that makes sense. And that was the only thing I did not want it to feel like they were just forcing this. It should have felt, like as Amy said, an alternative universe would have made it feel more, not like it was trying to take away what the original Ghostbusters done in exchange for, okay, women can do it. We know women can do it. That's fine. But does that make sense? I'm trying to explain it away without sounding like I'm anti-women. I'm not. I am so pro women.
Yeah, it became the girl Ghostbusters movie rather than anything else, and it just became that, like, we were trying, like I say, like the 2016 version was wiping everything that happened in the 80s. It's like, it wasn't that at all, but I think it became very difficult after that to kind of remove that. And then you had the likes of Leslie Jones, who wasn't, like, her role wasn't taken very well, and there was a lot of negativity placed on it for this, that, and t'other. And I know that Leslie Jones herself, bless her, is very vocal with defending it. And I think it just became, like you say, this feminism thing that really didn't need to be part of it. And even now, like when they announced Ghostbusters 3, she jumped on Twitter and said that this is ridiculous. I can't believe you have done that, because it's almost like it's now wiped 2016 away. That never happened. It's a shame, because, like you say, we all agree that it was just meant to be a fun family movie. It wasn't meant to be for girls. It wasn't for boys. It was just for, I would say, families. Because, like I say, my kids and my reception absolutely adored it. And obviously, when it first came out and we were at conventions, a lot of children recognized us more than they recognized other Ghostbuster groups, because we were characters. And I think that's the one difference that splits us apart from other groups, because we play characters from a movie. We are not our own selves as Ghostbusters. And I think a lot of children and other people related to that more, because they go, oh, I recognize that character. I understand that character. I've seen that movie. I really enjoyed it. You guys have done a good job. Because I will say the one good thing is that we do get a lot of positivity in terms of us as cosplayers. Like, a lot of people appreciate the cosplay that we've done. I don't know if Gwyneth wants to elaborate on that, because I feel like I'm talking a lot.
I know
you talk away,
Amy's the talker. That's why Amy's Holtzman and I'm Erin. Like, I'm quite I'm just chilling back here. Just like, go on.
You're just analysing everything, waiting for the zippy in there. Well,
I can't even, I think you said everything really. But it's nice that even like little boys, they don't care about that. It's all women. They're just cool Ghostbusters to them, and they dress up like that. We've got one little laddie who just obsessed with us. Like, we went to an event once and we weren't Ghostbusters, and like the mom was like, oh, he's gonna be so upset. We felt really bad.
There's nothing as bad when a parent does that. It's like, oh, they're so disappointed this character's not here today. You're like, well,
yeah,
you know,
that was like Gated Unleashed, and I remember I was dressed as Elizabeth Swann from Pirates of the Caribbean, so I literally had to pretend that Holtzman had left him a pair of glasses. When I'm so sorry that Holtzman couldn't be here today. She's left you some glasses just for you, and I was like,
we had some photos of us as well as the Ghostbusters. So like, just give him this. Look, see, present. So he was all right.
oh, that's so cute though. It's amazing. It is amazing. You have to admit it. Whenever kids or even big kids see you and their faces light up, like, does it not just make it all worth it?
Mm-hmm. We've had people like, we walk past people and they're like, is that the actresses? And we're like, yes.
Oh, definitely.
Check you out.
Oh, totally. Like, everyone has misinterpreted like Gwyneth as see, I can't remember the actress's name. I'm so sorry.
Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, it's actually Kristen Wiig. Especially when we've had the like photos done and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get a nice photo of you both so we can put it up as the promo.
Yes.
For this here, for definite, so we do. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're not watching, they honest to God look ridiculously like the characters. It is just uncanny. And for those of you actually who don't know, I'm actually makeup as a ghost. Makeup by Aurora, my darling daughter.
Got Rosa vibes, definitely.
Yeah. She's actually given me a bit more colour in my cheeks than I have had the last few while. You know, a little less corpse-ish, so I have. But no, I will say I read an interview. I think Bill Murray was talking about how the new film's coming out, and he gives such credit to the actresses of 2016. He said those ladies were so funny. They were lobbing grenades at him all day, and the amount of the film that was actually improv is not even given the credit it was, because some of the zingers are just like that wasn't part of it, but we'll use it, you know.
Even Chris Hemsworth said that as well, because obviously he did Thor Ragnarok after that, and he said that 2016 Ghostbusters prepared him for it because of the amount of improv he had to do then, that he could apply to Thor Ragnarok as well, so that they've got, because obviously Taika Waititi runs along that way of doing things as well, just do what you feel, and he said that 2016 Ghostbusters really helped for that. So
I will say about Chris Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth as Kevin was definitely a nice way of having some male totty in there, because usually you have the female receptionist with the bosoms and hello Mr. Stark or hello Mr. you know, you've always got that there, but it was nice to see that there was the ditzy male, you know. I like to see that there, but I did enjoy all the cameos, like made my day when I saw Janine. I think automatically hello Ghostbusters, you know, you automatically want to shout that out at her. And then what cameo meant the most to yourselves?
I loved Sigourney Weaver. I just thought it was like perfect at the end. Nice little crazy Holtzman type character.
Little nod there. What about you, Amy? Who was your favourite?
To be honest, I think all of them. I think for me it was Ray's character. Again, my brain's just not working today for actors.
Winston?
Like and he's like, it's a level 5 whatever vapor, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, and it was just those little nuggets that they snuck in there for the people who were already fans of the show. But I think the cameos that will sit well with us are the people that we've met in real life.
I mean, I did like that they had Egon there.
Yes.
It was nice
that wee bust.
Nice note.
That's just, I mean, it'll never be the full Ghostbusters without him, but the fact that they gave him that nod, it was just perfect. They just put a little bit of icing on the fun, for those listening, the fun movie. Might have had some objections, but the fun movie that we all laughed at. I don't think I cried. No. Laughed at plenty anyway. So exactly. No hating on that there, ladies and gentlemen. Simple as that. But girls, I'm calling you girls now. Like, seriously, you've gone down in age.
Makes us feel young.
Girls, all right, ladies. Coming out of the film world and go back to like cosplay, and we'll get into COVID sort of stuff. How have you ladies been coping during this whole scenario?
Probably the same.
The sigh said it all there.
That's good.
I think the same as everyone else. I think at the beginning, very stressful period of time. No one knew what was going to happen. It was meant to be 3 weeks that became 3 months. And obviously, I was lucky in the sense I had a lot to do anyway. I was teaching online, so I felt like I was doing a lot of that anyway. I did a live maths session dressed as Holtzman during it once. But it became a very much like, oh, I've got all this time to play dress up, doing TikToks, and then 3 months passed, and you're like, and then it became a year, and now we're into the next year. Like I think we were very lucky that our last con was Liverpool, and then it's now been a year since, and this was back at the time when we were like, oh, it's fine, it'll be done by May. We'll be back cons by like summer, and I think the motivation for it's just gone, because usually you cosplay with the hopes that there's going to be an event to go to show it off, or to, you know, something to strive for. Whereas when we don't have that, it's very much for, who am I doing this for? Like, I know that a lot of it's meant to be, I'm doing it for me, but I'm like, but also when people are saying it. Like,
let's be honest, we might cosplay.
Well, yeah.
We might honestly cosplay for ourselves, but we do it to get a bit of appreciation out there for a bit of, like, anyone who says they don't do it for that little bit of love. I'm not saying people are out there doing it for the ego, for the, you know, oh yeah, you're amazing. It's getting acknowledged as something else. That's all. It's something nice. Oh, you've done brilliant. You look amazing. It's that one compliment that can mean make such a difference in it. So you're allowed to say you're doing it for yourself at the same time. You're allowed to.
It's the same with like teaching, where you tell children that, like, if they work for a client or if they work for a person, that they are more eager to do it, because it's like, right, I don't know, Holtzman the Ghostbuster wants you to help her with science. We're going to do some science experiments today, and we're going to show her our findings. And giving them that client kind of gives them that motivation, because they're working for somebody. And it's the same with cosplay. Like I say, events is usually the thing we're striving for, going, okay, right, in Liverpool we're gonna make sure we're dressed up as this, and we're gonna enter the competition, and we're gonna maybe meet up with some other groups that are doing the same kind of thing. And just, we haven't had that. Like a few years ago I was looking to go to Utrecht in the Netherlands to meet the Ghostbusters over there. And it was amazing. Like, it was just, I was going to meet fellow fans of the genre, of the franchise, and we don't have that. And we still don't know when we're going to have that. So it's very much stunted. Like, I know that Gwyneth and I have got a lot of shoots planned, but they're planned. We don't know when it's going to happen. It's just frozen.
Shit. Just say it's shit. It's shit.
It really is.
What about you, Gwyneth?
Well, unlike Amy, I am not essential in any way. I work in a geek shop selling figures and stuff, so I have done nothing. So
you're essential to the geek universe.
I am
don't you dare!
Some people I am essential, but for the government I am not. But yeah, I was like, thought, oh, I've got all this free time, I can finish costumes and all this, and then I've just had no motivation, like most people. Just not knowing what's going on. It's just kind of puts you in that. Ugh. But I have had my moments when, my husband's a photographer, so I have made costumes, and then I'm lucky I can do photos still because it's allowed in the house. It's all good. So I've done that a couple of times, but apart from that, I've done nothing. Like I mentioned,
has cosplay helped you both through this? Have you been able to use it a little bit to alleviate a little pressure?
Because I make my own costumes, so I've been able just to sit and sew one day if I've, feeling a bit meh. And it does help. A bit meh.
And Amy uses it to scare her classroom children into doing work.
It's totally true. I mean, World Book Day this year, at least I had something to work towards. So
that is true. World Book Day has become something else now in the family of a cosplayer. World Book Day is now it's game on. It's no holds barred. It's all bets are off.
You as a parent.
Yeah. My mum's better than your mum. My mum's dressed as this, or my teacher's dressed as it's game on for everybody. So it is game on. I know we've first spoke about this off the camera and stuff like that there, but how has cosplay helped you both with your mental health? Like, does it? I don't want to go straight into mental health, like we're all crazy. But what I mean is, you were both saying how cosplay or COVID and lockdowns made you feel in general. How does cosplay help you with that? Not just COVID related, but in general, does it pick you up? Does it make you feel, apart from when people are giving you compliments, obviously, like that is obviously the best pickup. But in general, how do you both feel about it in that side of things?
I think it's hit missy. I think this year has been a very unique year in the sense that I don't feel personally that cosplay has helped very much at all. Like, I feel like I was buying a lot of stuff, wearing it and being like, well, I'm still in this situation, nothing has changed. And I think as well, and I'm sure Gwyneth will back me up on this, and don't argue with me about this, Gabrielle, that because we're older, I feel very old, especially when the people around the world who've still been able to do their photo shoots, because obviously we haven't been able to go outdoors and do anything, are stick thing 20-year-olds, and I just feel ancient. And obviously the new TikTok trend now is to remind everybody that if you were born in the 80s, you are fucking old. And it's like, anyone over the age of 25, and I'm like, fuck you. Like, seriously, fuck you, right? And it's just, I feel like all the characters that I really like are young, fit ladies or young, fit men. And it just doesn't suit me in my stage of life. And yeah, I feel like I'm at that point now where either I'm going to keep cosplaying or I'm never going to cosplay again. So I'm hoping that me and Gwyneth can kind of go out and do something to make us feel good, because at the moment when we're not able to go out and shoot and feel good in our outfits, I'm literally taking a photo in my own house against my own mirror with a camera that doesn't really give a flattering angle, and it just makes you feel like absolute crap. Because as well, like, your front camera almost goes like wide at the bottom, and it just makes you look bigger than you are, and it's just
Flip it.
But my boyfriend won't freaking help me with it. I don't know.
He doesn't. Literally, there's this. I will send you the link. I have found this guy on TikTok literally like 2 days ago, and I shit you not, he will show you how you take a picture with your phone, right, looking normal, and you still look fab. But then he shows you literally, you turn it upside down and you change one setting, maybe go against a different background, darker background, and you're like, what the fuck? Totally different picture. You're like, and it looks amazing. So I will send you him. I will send you his links. I can't remember his name right now, but I will send you his links, because they're, I mean, I had Gordon do some in the garden, just to like a 30 of the dog, random, just to see if it was actually something, and it so was. So I will send you that. So that might help pick you up a bit when the camera's angled a bit more.
It might do. I think it's like I say, it's just because we as cosplayers have had to make do. Well, sorry, UK cosplayers have had to make do with being ourselves in our house with whatever we can get. Whereas I'm constantly seeing American cosplayers out and about going, look, I've just done this photo shoot, and I'm like, oh, goody you. Well done. Freaking well done. I can't go and see Gwyneth, but you. And I think that's what it is. I think we as in the UK have, obviously we've had one of the toughest lockdown kind of settings. We've been fucked over massively, and just every aspect of our lives is just like, even in work, and I probably shouldn't say it, but I feel like there's more pressure because of the situation, and there shouldn't be. You know, I'm teaching no different. Like, we're lucky that in the little area we don't have to wear masks. The kids still climb like a climbing frame. It's no different, but it feels massively different, if that makes sense. And it's just, cosplay can't save me from that, unless I can go outdoors, which I'm not allowed till Monday.
I can honestly say, while this isn't sort of cosplay related, so I get to you now in a minute. Well, so she made me think of something. I was lucky to get to Spain in September last year. It's only for a week, but while you had to wear a mask as soon as you exited the building, you take it off in the restaurant, you had to wear it. I did not feel scared. I did not feel like it was a pressurized situation that if I did not do this, I was in deep shit and I was going to die.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I got off the plane home, same situation. You have to wear a mask. Okay, you don't have to wear it to walk in the street, but in Spain you do. As soon as you walk out your front door, mask is on, or you're fine straight away. But it's made to feel more heavier here. It should be taken heavily and, you know, seriously, that by all means, but it's definitely been dealt with differently, and I totally agree. Like, I'm doing this here, I'm hoping it gives cosplayers a bit of something to do and a bit of fun, but I do get the feeling from a lot, it's getting to that point where tapering off, because when are we ever going to get out of this shit again? You know.
Me as well. And everyone likes that power at the minute where you're not wearing a mask, you're not 2 meters apart. And I can't imagine cons now. Like, I don't know, people are going to be assholes there.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine what they're going to be like.
There's going to be assholes everywhere. There always is. Even before all this shit, there's assholes. So, you know, let's be honest, it's just going to happen. What about you, Gwyneth? How's it helped you, or has it helped you?
Well, before COVID, obviously cosplay I used to make myself feel a bit better, because I've mentioned to you before that I did suffer with like image issues, like most people, like a little bit of body dysmorphia when I was younger, and doing cosplay kind of helped me realize that, you know, I'm not that bad, and it's nice to get compliments, and being other characters kind of gives you that like confidence that I didn't have. So when COVID hit, then it's just kind of slowly getting back to being worse again. I'm having a bit of a breakdown about looking old, as Amy said. Look in the mirror every day, just going, oh god, it's just horrible. So I need cosplay. Yeah, we've got so many creams now. I'm just trying to like, please stop aging.
But let's remember, what is it your woman says in Mirror? It's not they're not wrinkles, they're crinkles. You know, and every crinkle is a memory and a laugh and a smile. So I'm all about owning them, and I, for one, don't think I'm aging gracefully, but I do know.
I didn't realize how like much older you were, because when I saw
I'm
you,
much older. I'm much older. What the fuck?
So
but that's not like, you do look a lot younger than what you are. I thought you were in your 20s when I first met you.
I love you, you liar.
And then I saw no, honestly, and then I saw you had this fully grown adult child, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like people never believe I'm married 18 years with a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old who are both giants. Yeah. You know, like, put it this way, I'm planning a 40th next year, and you ladies will be invited, because it's going to be in a castle over here, and there will be a dress up thing. It will be American 90s prom.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I've always wanted to go to a prom.
I know, big hair essential. I'm excited. So be prepared for that, because I'm holding out for 2022.
And I've never been to Ireland, so like, you know, I've always wanted to go.
It's not that far either.
No, it's not. You can literally like 40 minutes on the plane. And technically, you can visit. Technically.
By next week. But next week, sorry, by next year.
No, technically you can visit. And if you do get the chance to try and come and visit, bring a couple of costumes and I'll happily take pictures of you and some of our amazing scenery that we have here. So I will. Because you see,
now we've got a goal to aim for. Now we can get some cosplayers ready.
Yeah. So do that in the summer. So pick a date in the summer, not the weekend of the 12th. Just avoid that week in July altogether. It's avoided over here. Don't even come in July time. July is terrible. Just come at some point in the summer and we'll arrange some fun photos. We'll even get Hedge Scout to come along for some photos also.
Sounds
because
fun.
I mean, speaking to Hedge Scout, I don't know if you've seen her. You've met her at Liverpool. No, not this year. It was last year. She was at Liverpool. And she's 50, in her 50s, and she's feeling the same. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely something us. It's slightly over 25s. I mean, you aren't old.
Just a little tiny bit.
Aren't that much older than younger than me. Like,
no, I'm not. I think Amy's probably a little bit more. So I'm 2 years older than Amy, and I think you're 2 years older than me.
So what age are you? Like, okay, I've divulged. I'm 38, turning 39. So where are we on the age scale here?
I am 36, going out to 37 soon.
Okay,
just turned 35.
Happy belated
birthday!
Yeah, we're still
2 years and then 2 years. So yeah,
we're still fine. Let's just go with that.
We're just born in the 80s, man. Just the best age range.
The 80s and 90s were the best. So let's just.
They were. We knew to come home when them second street lights came on, or your mom would beat you, and you were allowed to be beaten. You were allowed to be beaten back in the day. I can honestly vouch, as a mother of teenagers, I wish I could beat them sometimes.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know, you not that my children are out doing anything bad.
Yeah.
But you know, you see the kids out there now, and you're like,
they're horrible.
Yeah, literally. Like in my old job, like I am not even joking you, the amount of trouble that kids would have got in when a boot in the hole would have sorted it, no problem.
Yeah, smack across the ass.
I turned my back. I said to the mum, "You want to head him a stop, rock on," and just literally turned away, just like this. And it was done. And that was the end of the conversation. That was it, you know. But then the wee bitch did dial 999 to say her mummy hadn't, like, was forcing her to, starving her to death or something like this here. It was a whole big thing.
Oh God.
It was a whole, and do you know all that was really happening? Her mum said, if you don't eat this, then you're not getting a dinner. That was it. That was it. And she phoned 999.
My friend did that when she was younger. I think her mum hit her on the bum, and then she rang like childcare or something. And she's like, why did she hit the bum? And it's because, I called her a fucking something. And she was like, she was right to do that. And then hung up. And I was like, that was the 90s though. So.
They need us 80s and 90s people on them sort of support lines, because like, what did you do? You deserved it. That's fine. Hang
exactly.
up.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Exactly.
Everyone's cheesy offended nowadays, and that's something that does open worms, as we know. But when it comes to cosplay, have you ever been, obviously, well, it's not, I don't want to say have you ever been offended or been accused of offending someone, but what has probably been a negative experience for you in cosplay that you look back on and are like, what the fuck, what was that about? Or have you been lucky enough not to have any?
Should I go first, Amy? Or?
No, I'll let you go first if you want. I'll have to think.
I have had like a little bit of bullying about my cosplays. Like the first time I did Lara Croft in a shop, some guys in the shop came in and went, don't even look like Lara Croft. And I was like, well, clearly I do, because why did you say Lara Croft? You know, but it did hurt. Like my first experience in the costume, and it was like, you look shit. But everyone else was so nice about it. It kind of did shadow that. But I've had other online. Sometimes you get like a few nasty comments. Someone said I had weird elbows, and I was like, what does that even mean?
How do you have a weird elbow?
Well, like I'm what's it called? I've got a bit of, I think, hypermobility, so sometimes I do twist weirdly. But I was like, did you have to say that? I mean,
my husband has weird skin that hangs off the end of his elbow. It looks like a ball bag, and you know that's a weird elbow. So yeah. You know, just because you're able to contort like a supermodel, darling,
exactly,
does not mean it's weird. Like, how do you get over that? Like, how is there? That's been it. Like, there's been nothing, thankfully, more serious than that. Thank God.
No, nothing. But it did like just like knock your confidence a bit when you get comments, or when you get a comment saying, "Oh, I did like a Tomb Raider," and he's like, "Oh, you look more like Trinity from the Matrix," and I was like, "You're kind of just shitting on my cosplay there. Like, that's not who I'm meant to be."
Like, I'd be like, clearly you don't watch enough movies, mate. Like, you know.
I mean, I do look a bit like it when I have that kind of style, but like, you didn't have to say that. It's just kind of a bit of a put down.
That's the thing. Even if you don't look like the character, if you know you're you say well done. For those listening out there and those watching,
exactly.
When you see someone make the effort in cosplay, don't comment anything other than positive. You look well, well done, good attempt. Not good attempt, that's a bit shitty. Good, you know, woohoo! Exactly. Back off if you can't say anything nice. Simple as that.
If you've got nothing nice to say, then just don't say anything. Just keep on scrolling. Yeah. No one needs to hear your comments.
I know personally, me with Monopoly, if anyone does anything like that to cosplayers and it comes back to me, I get them kicked out. I'm very quick on that. I don't tolerate it, won't tolerate it. No, not gonna happen. And
you also get the creeps as well. Sorry, I've had some very inappropriate messages, as most cosplayers get. Yeah. Even on eBay, I sell on eBay and I get some weird messages, and I'm like, mate.
You could make some money. Do you know what you could do if there's freaky people like that? Get into your cosplays and show pictures of your feet to people in your cosplays, and people be paying.
Exactly. I'd be tempted because people have requested, and I'm like, could make some money in lockdown. Quite poor now. We'll see. Yeah.
500 quid for a photo of your feet dressed as Lara Croft. Oh, I say, darling.
Exactly. I'd do that.
Yeah, why not? Nothing really out of the ordinary. What about you, Amy? Anything?
Not anything that I feel like stuck in my mind. Like even just the other day, like I posted one of Shinobu from Demon Slayer, and there's like a little comment on it by some little tool saying this has ruined Shinobu for me, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, literally click on that Instagram and it's private, and it's like, there we go, that's enough said. I'm like, I'm just gonna listen to this anonymous little child saying that he doesn't like my Demon Slayer cosplay. It's hard. Like it's a fine line between being really like taking it to heart, which you will if people point out things about your body. I think it instantly draws your attention to it and goes, maybe I am this, that, and t'other. Or when they compare you to another cosplayer I think that's what drives me around the twist. Oh, well, such and such has got a better cosplay, or these guys. Like, I think we got a lot of that with our Avengers stuff. We're part of the Northeast Avengers, and you know, when we in our heyday, we had a really good group of people, but you still get those, well, such and such has got a better Black Widow, or such and such has got a better Mantis, or someone's got a better Thor, and it's just like, and okay,
that's a comment that doesn't make sense.
It's not a contest, and it shouldn't be a contest between, like, you know, if you're there. I always loved seeing cosplayers at cinemas and screenings or comic book stores when it came to release the films, release the comics, release the whatever. It was brilliant, and you take it for what it damn well is. Like, don't get me wrong, there's like cosplay groups that want the best of the best, and I can understand if it's like you're going to like Make-A-Wish Kids and you need to be that character. Like, Jack Sparrow's not going to rock up as, you know, Spider-Man. You want the character for that experience. When there's incidents like that, you can understand there's a need for accuracy. But in the grand scheme of things, a kid will see a costume and be like, "Woohoo, Spider-Man!" They don't care if he's got a little bit of a gut. You know, nobody cares. I mean, I think it was last year. Was it last year at Comic-Con Scotland? Last year, the one. I'm so lost with what bloody year it is. Last year. It was the year before. The year before. And this guy took over the Comic-Con Scotland page. That was fine. And he made one comment on it about the arse on the Power Ranger, right? I checked I had obviously finished working, because you know I worked the event, got back to bed, passed out, was dead, as we all are at the end of a con. Got up at like 3 to go to the bathroom, and my phone was lit. Woo! I was like, what the fuck has happened here? Like the apocalypse. And the amount of comment, this guy said this, said this, said this, said this, said this. I'm telling you this on the QT. And because obviously I don't, like a lot of us during a con, when we get to check our phone, it's like at the end of the day, or to check what time it is. You never get to check feeds from the day. You never get to look back really until a couple of days later. So we found it, and I think we were straight in the next day, and credit to the organizer, he had that boy taken off the page and given no access anymore. That was it. It was done.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't understand it. If you're not there, you can't appreciate cosplay and what it is. It's an escape for people. Then shut up. You know.
Yeah. I remember one thing, Gabrielle. Now that you've mentioned it, Star Wars cosplayers. I have had one bad experience now that you mentioned it. It was at a con, and I was invited by the organizer to dress up as Jyn Erso from Star Wars. Now, this is when me and Gwyneth used to do like changes between. Okay. So we had literally done Ghostbusters, had to run off, get changed into Jyn Erso, and make my way back. Now, the Star Wars lot that I was going on with obviously hadn't been told, or had been told and didn't listen. So I turned up, and they already had another person as Jyn Erso, and I was like, oh, and they were really unkind to me. I was like, I'm meant to be in this bit for this part of the stage stuff, and they were awful. So I'd been to see the organizer. I was like, am I not meant to be here? I'm fine to like take a step back, but they're being dicks. And they sent their Jyn Erso away, who wasn't fucking happy at all, and snuck me in. But it was just like, there was no need for it. It was like, look, it's nothing personal to you guys. I'm not clearing to be part of your group. It's just that because the event itself, the biggest part of it is like the stage performance where all the characters go on and they kind of show off their stuff. So I'd been invited to do that bit. And just the attitude of them, and the whole thing with them as well was that there's different Star Wars groups that aren't allowed to be together on stage because they don't get on so much, or they're so picky with each other that they literally have to be separated like completely. And it was just like, for what it was literally for me to walk on stage and walk back off. I would have quite easily have backed down, but because there was such dicks, I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. This is ridiculous. It's not for you. It's for that little kid down the front who's dressed as Jyn Erso. And it's the whole comparison. I think that's the only toxic thing with cosplay. It's this constant, oh, look at her, you know, Wanda thing. She's not even dressed like the same, or she hasn't got the right thing. And it's even in the Ghostbuster community. It's like, oh, they haven't got the proper suit, or they haven't got the correct fit looking thing on their pack, or it.
Well, I can, when you hear this,
I
had a cosplay turned away. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of my Princess Aurora cosplay, right? It's quite lovely, just a pink dress, all the proper things, and she has these pointy white shoulders, right? because they're come out like this, right? Mine came up to basically my ears. There was no pointing, right? Fabulous, regal looking thing. I was told they weren't pointy enough to get approval to go out with these. I was like, do you know what? Fine, I'll start my own group, which I did, and mine was just as long as you have fun and someone can recognize you as the character. I don't really give a shit if you're accurate
That's
or
like
not.
ours, yeah. Like it is the
That's
Star
how it
Wars
should
groups
be.
have the biggest, like, you have to have everything, which is fair enough if you want to do that. But when people have a go at you for not doing that, that's when it gets like.
Because I mean, like, my hubby and I, we both Mandalorians. We're both fully approved by the Mando Mercs, which is Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
And Star Wars groups have a problem with that. And it's like, but we're not there to fit in with the film. We have our Mandalorians have their own culture. We have their own language. We're our own thing. We create our own stuff. As long as we fit whatever their armor criteria is, then we're fine. Totally fine. But there's people out there who don't have that, and I will still happily talk to them, give them advice. My husband still happily be like, he's like, fucking brilliant effort. And it could be someone wearing like cardboard or something. Brilliant effort. Oh, you should try. If you want, I can help. If you ever want to do this a different way, I can help. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be a case of and looking down on people. I mean, granted, not all Star Wars groups do that, or not all groups do that, but there are.
I am going to join one who is very nice, and I've got friends in it. And I do want to do a good job. I want to like make it completely accurate, and that's what I want to do. So that's fair enough if it's that like group.
Yeah.
But yeah, when to start, like, having a go.
I think that's why I like the cosplay sort of with Monopoly at the minute. It's not about the contest. It's not about, looking amazing. It's about just having fun. And that's like we've all said, we're there in this costume to not be ourselves. We want a whole room of people giving you that round of applause for just walking on stage and walking off a stage. Could be such an uplifting experience for someone. I mean, even those who get on as villains, I mean, y'all see me do it. If a villain gets on the stage, I encourage the crowd to boo. And while I make sure it's okay with the person who's coming off, first of all, you mind that they're going to boo you, because they're not actually booing you, they're booing your character.
Yeah.
The beauty is with cosplay, people know they're cosplaying the character. So they know it's the character being booed, not themselves.
I think that's what it is with cosplay groups. I think that's the one thing that we try to promote within the groups that we are. It's not about the costume, it's about, like you say, staying in character for the audience that you're with. So if you're at the cinema, it's whoever's going to go and see the movie. So if you're because we did a lot of we've done Disney stuff, and we did the Birds of Prey, and it was like you are the characters that they're going to go and see. That they probably don't look at your costume and go, yes, screen accurate, I like that. They're like, oh, I don't like the character. Do you want to get Jimmy, do you want to go and get your photo taken with Harley? Go on. Can you just get Maleficent out of the picture?
People were terrified of Maleficent.
But that's how it should be. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I can remember my first con I went to, and I went and saw Batman, Spider-Man, Transformers, everyone, and I saw the character. I didn't see, Batman hasn't got the right grip on his belt. Spider-Man. Not to say they did; they were all accurate. Like, I just said, if people have that much time on their hands to focus on shit like that, they have too much time on their hands at the end of the day. So just people need to wise up, realistically. I like to do something, and that's the way it should be. Do your own thing at the end of the day.
I think that's what's adding to our demotivation as well. Just sometimes the amount of just toxic people who are. It's a fine line. Like, I'm seeing a lot of posts where people are trying to remind people not to be toxic, and it's like, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to go on and go, right, can we just admit you can do whatever you want with cosplay? Of course you can. You can do it in whatever aspect of your life, do whatever you want. But it's so sad that you have to remind some people. Yeah. And I know that I've seen quite a few cosplayers who've had a big following, like deleting their account and starting again just to get rid of that toxicness and just say, I'm just here to enjoy it. And I hope that I do eventually get to a point like that, because I think, and I'm sure Gwyneth's the same, that I'm still at the point where I'm like, I want people to tell me that my cosplay is good. Like,
let me be one to tell you, your cosplays are amazing. Both of your cosplays are always amazing. And anyone who's watching this, listening, you can't see how amazing they are, but we will put little Instagram links and TikTok links and all that there, so you better go and check out their shit. But for those watching this on Facebook and Instagram, go check out their pages, because these ladies are amazing. And when it comes to cosplay, just lift people up at the end of the day, because I know it's sad that, like you say, you shouldn't have to remind everyone, hashtag be kind. You don't know you don't know what anyone is going through. You don't know the story behind why they're cosplaying that character. You do not know the story behind why this person they're dressed as means so much. Why they can't maybe, because not everybody can afford hundreds of pound costumes. Not everybody has the time nor the skill. I don't have the time nor the skills to be making shit because I haven't a crafty fucking bone in my body. Like the only thing I can honestly say I've made myself or my children, and even then we're sort of on ropey territory. But there's so many different levels of cosplay, and it should all be embraced because everyone brings something different to it.
But say I can't sew, Gwyneth knows this.
Watching Amy try to make a costume is like it hurts my brain because she's just she's got no patience. She'll
I'm
just
like, what's the good?
It's
but
quite
like
chaotic.
a suit and everything, like hand sewed all that stuff, didn't you? So
yeah, it's all hand, it's made. It's all good. I was very proud of this.
And ladies and gentlemen, we would tell her to stand up and show it off to you all, but we ain't gonna do that today. Because like at convention, we have embarrassing situations.
Can I show my stomach? Is it
if you want, you can stand up and show everyone your stuff.
So basically, for people watching, you'll see that I've eaten a lot over lockdown and I'm bloated, and then my belly just kind of like popped out of my suit. So
you're sexy and you know it.
It's broken. It happens.
It happens. But
you don't stay the same weight the whole life, so you know.
Exactly.
And this is the thing, even though we are aging and we are all aging beautifully, can we just say, we don't need to cosplay people our age. If we want to cosplay a tween, we can cosplay a damn tween. Do you know what I mean?
We're cosplaying a 16-year-old. Is it 16 or 18 that they are?
I think she's 16, yeah.
16, yeah. We're doing that next week.
Who are you cosplaying next week?
Demon Slayer. So it's an anime, so they're obviously very young, beautiful women. Well, children.
Well, that's like my Meredith. My Meredith 16.
I'm doing
not so good. So her from Card Captors.
Oh yeah, I do. I found out she was 11, so I cosplayed an 11-year-old a couple of weeks ago.
You didn't realise it. And why not? Do you know what?
Exactly.
So what advice would you ladies give anyone who wants to get into cosplay?
Can I go first, Tommy?
Amy's fixing her glasses. Go on, Gwyneth. While she's getting Amy's getting the Ghostbusters symbol perfected in her glasses. For those who can't see this, you're missing out. You're missing out on this absolute attention to detail here. Yes. What would you say?
So I know a lot of people get put off because they feel like they've got no skill and they feel like they have to make the costume. It has to be handmade, and like it doesn't. So my advice is, if you want to give it a go, just do it. Just buy something off AliExpress for £30. We do that. Our costumes next week. Cheap costumes that we just want to have a bit of fun, have a photo shoot, meet up, and like I say, just make sure if you put yourself out there on the internet, you will sometimes get some bad stuff, but it's kind of like just don't go too crazy at once. Like don't go in too many groups, and like make sure you're comfortable before you put yourself out there a bit, because you know the internet is toxic. Don't let it get to you. It's just full of trolls. But that's my thing. Just do it. And if you see you can't do something, you can. Like I couldn't sew 5 years ago, and now I can. Amy refuses to try. If you don't want to do it though, you don't have to sew. Just like say, get someone else to do it or buy it. That's fine.
Yeah, why not? Why not? It's all the same. What about you, Amy?
Pardon?
What about you? What would you tell people?
I think people need to think about the reason that they're doing it in the first place. So if you're doing it because you like a character, then do it because you like that character. If you're doing it because you know that character's popular and you're going to get attention, then that's fair enough, but expect that you're going to get shit back from it, no doubt. Because I know that me and Gwyneth have done that before. I've cosplayed characters where I'm like, that character's popular, I'm going to try and do that myself. And it wasn't something that really suited me, and then that obviously knocked my confidence a bit, and obviously then you start comparing and contrasting. So I've just made sure from now on that I'm cosplaying characters that I like, that I want to try and embody. So like Holtzman is someone that I really like and I like to embody. Obviously Demon Slayer's on rocky territory, just because of that horrible wig. But at the same time, I'm doing it because I know that me and Gwyneth are going to have an amazing duo. We're going to have fun doing it. It's, you know, we haven't done anything in flipping ages. And as Gwyneth says, I can't sew for shit. So I go on AliExpress a lot. And like, to be honest, even in the past few years, AliExpress have got better with their stuff.
So good now.
Like once upon a time.
This podcast is sponsored by AliExpress.
Oh my God, please do.
See, I bought this costume on AliExpress and it was only like 40 quid, and it's a full costume and it's lovely.
It is, yeah.
It would cost me so much to make that costume as well, like way more than that. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weighing up the cost and effort as well. Like I wanted to try and make this randomly just in the past few days. Wanted to try and do Zatanna from DC because someone asked, "Oh, would you mind getting it together?" I want
to do that.
Yeah, and I thought I looked on eBay, Gwyneth, from my usual eBay-ness, and when I totted up all the separate parts of it, I could buy it on AliExpress for the same amount and get the whole costume. So I was just like, I'm trying to do it cheaply, but it doesn't work. So, And like you say, sometimes if you want to make it from scratch, like I know Amy and Gwyneth do, the fabric's usually flipping expensive. And then you've got accessories on top of it, Gabrielle. You've got flipping shoes and wigs and makeup. But again,
contact lenses. And
yeah,
I mean, can we just say not enough credit gets given to those who do the makeup?
Yeah.
I mean, y'all are chameleons. I mean, I can't literally. I don't wear makeup. I don't wear it. I just don't wear it until I go to a con. And even then, it's debatable. My daughter cringes if she is not with me to do my makeup on days of convention. She will get up. I shit you not, like 5 or 6 in the morning to make sure my makeup is done before I leave. She will not let me go if it's anything but that, like, you know. But ladies, we've talked a lot about shitty stuff and crap, but let me know, what has been your most favorite memory in cosplay? Something that's made you just fill with joy, and as soon as you think about it, you're just back there again.
I have one.
Go on.
So this is my first ever convention that I went to, and I was terrified because, like I said, I had no confidence at all. And I went as the gingham dress from Red Dwarf, from Mr. Flibble. Have you seen Red Dwarf? Do you know what that is?
I know of it, but I just have.
So I dressed up like that because Chris Barry and Craig Charles from the show were going to be there, and like I say, I wanted to meet them. And when I turned up, like hardly anyone was in costume, so I was even more scared. I felt like people were looking at us, even though they weren't. I've just been paranoid. And then I went and meet Craig first, and he got like really excited and was like, "Oh, you look amazing!" And then Chris also said the same thing, and I was just like overwhelmed. I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then he mentioned me on stage as well, saying how good my costume was, and that was just a nice, like, for the cast and the guy who actually dressed up like that to say like how good you looked, and you know,
like the cherry on the cake for you.
And I was just like, and then I haven't stopped cosplaying since, so there we go.
And why not? In fact, why not? What about you, Amy?
I've got two, and they're a bit soppy, but they're to do with the 2016. So like the first thing is, I think that I've now got two best friends, Gwyneth and Emma. And if it hadn't been for the 2016 shitty Ghostbusters, I would never have met them, because this is the reason that we got together. We got together as a group for this reason. And I'm really grateful for that, because I've never had girlfriends before that. And since then, obviously, I've met you, Gabrielle, and it's kind of branched out. It was very much the first step into like meeting people. So from there, obviously, Gwyneth introduced me to the Avengers. And from there, we met other people who were Avengers who then got other costumes.
Can I just say how random it is? Anyone listening to this and goes, who's not heard anything about cosplay, like, this bitch talking about meeting the Avengers, like, I'm sure they just have visions of you meeting Paul Rudd and ScarJo and just like, you know, shooting the shit.
Oh, it's all right. The kids at school, when I got our Naughty Spider-Man to do a video for one of our competitions, and they're like, just tell them, do you really know Spider-Man? Like, yeah, I do. But yeah, so like, you know, people hate on this movie, but for me, it's a starting point to where I am in my life in terms of friendships. And the other one, again, 2016 Ghostbusters, it was again before I'd really met Gwyneth and Emma. I did York Unleashed as Holtzman and just wandered around by myself. And one dad ran up to me and he went, "We've been looking all over for you. My daughter's desperate to meet Holtzman." And he dragged his little daughter along when she wants a photo with you. And it's on my Twitter. Yeah, it was just an adorable moment, saying that he'd literally been looking around the con for me for that. And from that, I did a little thing in town in, where was it, Horton, and someone put on Twitter, "Can't believe I missed Kate in Horton today." That I was the actress, and I was like, come on, you can't, seriously. Kate turned up in Horton by herself.
Well, maybe.
You never know.
So it's, you know, for all the hate it gets, I've only got good memories with the 2016.
We had another good memory. We did a on stage show. Obviously people come on stage from Avengers, Ghostbusters, blah blah blah, and we got like an amazing cheer, like because we've been around the event just being awesome as we are usually, like we talk to people and like get like people love to just come and get photos, and then when they came on stage then people screamed, okay, Amy's looking like
for those who can't see this, Amy is like, gimme, my turn, hand up, gimme.
We've got another one though. We went to, where was it? Collectomania as the 2016 Ghostbusters, and we met Ernie Hudson.
Oh yeah.
And he wasn't allowed to take photos with people unless obviously he'd paid for it. And right at the end, Gwyneth asked him if we could have a photo. Yeah.
But the guy next to him was like, no, you can't have a photo. And he was like, I'm getting a photo with her. And he got up and like walked behind and like get a photo. And he said, give us a hug, and said, keep on busting. And I was just like, oh, I love it. Ernie Hudson's one of the best people I've ever met. He's just
I love when a celeb steps out from what their agent says and it's like, whoa, no,
yeah.
I mean, I think my one I got would be Jason Patrick at the Lost Boys. And I do the work with Nutley, and that's fine. And I'm never really starstruck because it's just it's not sort of normal. But whenever I met him, I loved him in Sleepers. Everyone was there but Lost Boys. I was there because I love Sleepers. And I just happened to say something to him because I got to meet him, Monopoly were lucky enough to give me an autograph and a photo for my birthday. Or just an autograph. And then I said, it was my birthday and I done this, done that. And he says, oh, get up and give me a hug. And I cried like a bitch. I was like, oh, I said, your birthday, happy birthday, and he just sat and I was like, I have to go and get a plane. Like I literally have to get to the airport. I've left this till literally last minute. Wouldn't interfere with queues. And he's having a conversation with me and I'm going,
I'm going to miss my flight.
Worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth it. It's Jason Patrick. But I am talking. I went home, cried. Like I think I sat like just the whole. I was just. I mean, it's nice when they do that. It's just.
Yeah, we'll just have to send you a list of names of people that we need to meet that you can just arrange. Although ours was Elijah Wood, and that's been gone. So.
We met him. Thanks to Monopoly events.
Yeah. See, this is the good thing with Monopoly. Keep an eye on who the guests are, because a lot of time, and you've seen me do it, it's something I arrange with the organisers where if there's cosplayers, namely the cosplay guests who are there, who are in a cosplay linked to one of the movies that say one of the guests are in, we generally get them to escort them on stage where they get a photo, they get to meet them for a second. It's only like a quick hi, you walk on the stage, they sit down.
Ever. Yeah. Like we're just like, what do you need? Like, do you need proof? What do you need? Proof, what do you need?
It's honestly amazing to see the difference, and I think that is something, I know I sound like I'm shamelessly plugging it, but I'm not. It's something I think is different that they do at an event that I haven't seen. That it's just something, it's giving cosplay a little bit of a nod that, do well, have fun, and you could meet your hero. I mean, like Finch met Elijah Wood, he got the escort, and it was the most bizarre and surreal experience, because I'm standing, he's just standing there shooting the shit with us, and we're like, this is weird.
Yeah, he told us about that, just talking about like the family and stuff, like, I just had a kid as well, and it's just like,
you're like, you're talking to Frodo, like, what? This is weird, this is bizarre. So anyone listening, pay attention to your cosplays and who Monopoly are bringing to the event, because you never know. Heads up.
Well, I want to meet Bill Murray, but he doesn't do events.
Bill Murray, I think. Hey, Britt, could you imagine a duo of Bill Murray and Brian Blessed on stage?
Carnage.
That would be something else. That would be something like a whole convention of itself. So would the two of them together would just be zinging each other. So they would. But ladies, it has been a real pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much both of you. I have no idea. How about you?
It has nearly been time already. Wow.
It's 25 past 7, ladies. Oh my god. It's getting late. But before, do you know what? See, before we go, what would be your dream? No money, no budget, cosplay.
I've got two.
Oh Lord, you just pushing the boat out. You pushing the boat out like
that wasn't a question.
I'm like two. First one, the original Mighty Morphin Pink Power Ranger, and two, a Maud Sith from Legend of the Seeker. It's like
no idea what the second one is. No idea what the second one is, but the first one I'm actually getting.
Oh God damn it, Gabrielle!
Thank you to Hot Property. They've done my helmet. They're creating my bow. And yes, baby, I'll be a Pink Ranger.
You can no longer be friends, Gabrielle. I'm sorry.
I love you. I love you.
I actually.
What's the second one? The second one was that. Sorry, Gwen. What was the second one? It was like all I heard was leather, and I went to 50 Shades.
It's a really cheesy program called Legend of the Seeker, and there's these types of girl characters in it called the Maud Sith, and they wear like full on red leather kind of outfits, gloves, everything, and they have like a pain stick. That's the best way to describe it, but you'd have to Google it. There's a girl I know who's actually done it, but it's amazing. But
so I wasn't far off when I said 50 Shades. There's like pain involved there with leather. So
there's some total S&M involved, yeah, massively.
I couldn't watch it. Nope, horror. What about you, Gwyneth? What about you, Gwyneth? Who would yours be, or what?
I think I have two. I'm gonna have two. Amy's having two, but I'm having two. So one of them is Red Sonja, who I will be doing at some point. Yes. It's just making all that. I want to make all the chainmail stuff myself, and obviously do some working out for me abs. But and then the second one is from World of Warcraft called Sylvana. Is it Sylvana? Which is this cool elf with like just so much. It's lots of foam work, like just full on armor, just a badass bitch. And I want to do that.
Is that the game that I told you my husband's working on? That? Oh God.
No,
remember
I mentioned no.
Skyrim. I'm so confused. As you can tell, anyone listening and watching, I'm not a gamer. Don't know anything about games or anime. So, but I don't shame me for that. Please don't. I don't want to hate. I've been ding the bell. I've been open and honest. I
don't have the bell. Ding.
Shame. But that's the thing. Everyone knows something different about cosplaying. You could be someone from a music video. You could be someone from a bloody commercial of the 80s. It doesn't matter. It's all shits and giggles.
I like to do obscure ones now and again that no one really does. But I think they're quite fun.
So what he's working on at the moment?
Oh my God! And say the wrong character. Had that a few times. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what I am.
I get Princess Fiona when I do Merida sometimes. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh no.
I have a bow and arrow when I'm fucking Scottish. Are you mad in the head? Where are you getting Princess Fiona?
Scottish, Irish.
Celtic. We'll just go with Celtic.
Sure.
But are you working on anything at the minute?
Everything.
Too much.
We've got about 20 costumes on the go.
Stuff coming up though, haven't we?
Yeah.
Are you going to get to the cons at the end? Are you going to get to, you think, Comic-Con Liverpool or Scotland when they happen?
Possibly
I'm
Scotland.
saying when. I'm being so positive about that.
Because Scotland's got a few Back to the Future guests going, and I'm currently I will be making a Back to the Future costume. So I was like, perfect timing.
Ooh. Do we get to know who? Or are you just going to leave it a surprise?
Well, I want to do two because I've already cosplayed. I can't remember her name, but his mother, but when she's younger. What's she called again? Lorraine, yes, that's the one. I've already cosplayed her, but I want to do a prom dress, and I also want to cosplay one of Biff's gang.
Yeah,
who's got this crazy, because I want to make the hoverboard from it as well. So yeah, two Back to the Future costumes.
That would be class. What about you, Amy?
But to be honest, we've got a lot of Final Fantasy stuff in the works. So like Gwyneth's making Aerith and finishing off Tifa, and I've got Cloud. So they're the ones that I'd really like to get to, because that's when I'm trying to think, like, everyone's got a franchise they love. I don't think I've got one in my head. Like, I like a lot of things, but I wouldn't say, yeah, that's my franchise. But I would say Final Fantasy was, because it's something that I've loved since I was a kid. So yes, a kid. That's how old it is now. But yeah.
Back in the Jurassic days when dinosaurs roamed the earth, you know.
It was 1997. I was like 11 years old. So but yeah, the problem with me is late at night when I'm by myself and I'm bored, I go on AliExpress and just buy loads of crap. So like I bought a wig and a mask for Stargirl. I mean, she's too young for us for a start. And then the other one was Rogue. Even though I've done Rogue before, I saw a wig and thought, yeah, go on then. I haven't got the money, but okay.
Amy just sends us random messages going, I'm doing this. Will you do the costume with us? So we're a bad influence on each other. But yeah, I was like, have you already done that? So yeah. So I'm now going to do this.
Oh, yay! And are you going to go to Scotland as well, Amy? Or are you going to...
I'm just following Gwyneth this year. This is what I've just said. I've got no plans in my head, no real kind of cos plans either. I just kind of want to wing it. And if Gwyneth goes, right, we're doing this tomorrow, then we're doing this tomorrow. So Yeah. I'm
Amy's too
okay.
tired to think for herself at the moment, so I just do it for her.
My brain
I will say for everyone watching and listening, we got very lucky with Comic-Con Liverpool. Like literally the week before all this shit went mental. Like it was only, like you said at the beginning, oh, it'll be blown over by May, not May 2021. We didn't expect that for fuck's sake. Just don't sneeze in it. Just don't sneeze in anyone. But these two ladies here done Huntress, wasn't it? And Harley. Yes. And we still have your certificate. Oh
yes, we still
need
it.
I still want it, you know. I'm desperate for that.
I will get it. I will get it. I can, and I will tell you, I can see where it's sitting, and I put it in this. It's behind the sofa, because how quick were we thrown out of that hall?
Oh
yeah.
We were thrown out that quick. I'm pretty sure there's prizes. There was prizes as well, not just like, I'm pretty sure the unicorn balls, the remainder unicorn balls that were given to the children are also behind there. Like literally and I have never been so annoyed that I didn't get to have them. Like it annoyed me so much. So I still have it, and I will make sure whenever we get to the stage next time, whenever that shall be, that will get you up on the stage to get. Even if you're not in the contest, you're just coming up for shit and giggles. You won't get those certificates.
Some random people that we just can do this for now.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Well, you've been getting postcards in exchange for certificates. Postcards are fine.
Well, at least attempt to entertain you. Come on, we'll have a script ready and everything.
Yeah, but if you don't worry, we can just wing it, because that's the point of the whole thing. It's just to have fun.
Exactly.
At the end of the day. But ladies, you have both been amazing. You both look gorgeous, as always. And anyone watching this, anyone listening to this, please give these ladies all the love and cheer that you can, because they all need it. We all need it at this time. I feel like I'm about to do a Maury. With yourself and each other. I feel like, or is that Jerry Springer? I don't know. I feel like I'm going to go all weird about this here. But I want to thank both of you very much for joining in. We will have your social media links underneath whenever these are shared online, so people can come and give you a follow. I'm advising everyone listening and watching, give these ladies a follow, because you never know, they might hunt you down. But honestly, give them a follow. And thank you everyone for listening and tuning in. Ladies, have a good night, Amy.
Will do.
Have a good night, Gwyneth.
Thank you.
And you ready to go and bust some ghosts?
We are.
Yes.
Always.
Thank you very much, everybody. You've been listening to me, Gabrielle, aka Wish Mama, Strange Porcelain, Jen Tate. I'm pointing at the screen like you're maybe looking at the same way, but you might not be. Just creating a GIF, really. But you've been listening to all of us, and you've been amazing on Banterflix. Thank you so much again. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.